Oh, okay, it's live. Hello, YouTube world. I'm going to go. Okay, nobody's watching at this point, but you're going to be watching this in the YouTube video later. I'm going to go ahead and open the link and mute this tab real fast. Then I'm going to put the link on Facebook so that everybody interested can watch.
Can they all see what you're doing?
They can't see what I'm doing. They can only see the camera.
Oh. Interesting.
They can only see it through the camera, so.
Okay, nice.
If you're wondering who that other voice is, this is Samuel.
Hello.
He's my writer friend, who I talked about writing the book with, if you weren't listening to the podcast so far. Publish. Okay, now it's up on Facebook. And, wow.
I look so goofy.
Yes, okay. Forget the tripod. So what I'm going to be doing this live stream for the next, 45 minutes to an hour, which is how long these things are.
Okay.
Is... What were we going to... Oh, yeah. So I've done a piece of line art piece of manga line art, and I'm going to be trying to recreate it in Pixlr using my Wacom pad, which this computer is actually sitting on right now, so I'm going to have to move the computer around it a little bit. But also, while I'm doing that, Samuel's going to be explaining about the book that we're writing that I've talked about before. So first of all, I want to show you the piece of manga art. This is Shibasaki Hiroshima. No, not Shibasaki. That's the wrong name. Katsuki. Her name is Katsuki Hiroshima. And if you didn't notice, my quality of art changed a lot since the last live stream. Samuel, you saw that sudden change in manga, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Because I, instead of just randomly doodling things, I actually got some instructional books, research stuff, trained my hand to do things more accurately, and then I got some fancy pencils. So I'm going to go ahead and start screen sharing and hand the microphone over to Samuel.
Okay, what do you want me to talk about?
Start explaining the book.
Okay, that's a big thing to do. Okay.
Just start with go setting, then main characters, and then explain the elemental system.
Okay, so the setting is a place called Lactet Mel, and it is an island where there are several races of people. The first is, of course, humans, because every good fantasy book has humans. And then dwarves. And then this is where things start getting weird. There is the Fronlinae.
Fronlinae, yeah.
Fronlinae, okay. And they are water dwellers with they're like coats around their skin.
Yep.
They don't have any mouth or nose, but they breathe and eat through their water, which is weird. This one's on Josiah, by the way.
So if it sounds really weird to you, that's because I did it. Oh, and at this point we've gone off of the camera, so you don't have to.
Okay.
You're looking at the camera anyway.
Yeah, yeah, that would not be good. Okay, and so let me see. Okay, and then there also are wizards, which are basically humans with powerful abilities. They're slightly taller than normal humans. And then there are the harbingers, which are basically anything but corrupted by the darkness, which is what I'll explain later.
Oh, yeah, there are kids watching. Keep it.
Okay.
Keep it PG-ish. Because
this whole thing is PG.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's only my writing that's not.
Oh yeah. Okay. Allison's the next one, which are tall, brown-scaled birds or brown-scaled creatures that have the heads of sharp-toothed humans, yet no legs or arms. Their body ends in a thick, powerful tail, and gray-brown feathered wings. 4 of them grow from their backs. Semi-intelligent, yet usually quite stupid. Mia's Big Wing Dum Dum is a common name. I'm reading all of this, so it's probably my voice probably sounds odd. And then drovels are the next ones, which are basically dwarves, but they have sharp teeth and eat gold. They have cone heads and can turn any which way and are as hard as rock. They are willing to follow anyone as long as they have money. And then there are the leviathans and drakens, which basically leviathans are water dragons and drakens are basically dragons, just with a different, cooler name. And then there are were people, and there are two types of were people actually. There are the breeders, which are anthropomorphic animals that often require technology to live and are prone to random bouts of rage. They are often feared by society. And if you do not know what anthropomorphic is, then please look it up. And then there are Genusians, which are humans that can turn into animals on command. And so those are, and they can be any type of animal. For example, we have one that can turn into a raven and one that can turn into a cricket. So,
two of my least favorite characters.
Great. Love to know that. Okay, so now that we have all of those races and stuff, the cities inside Lactate Mel are Quickton, which is basically the forest city, Ruby City, which is the city of nobles, Agricolaria, which are the farmlands, Stellarton, which is the city of science, Democracy, which is basically just the city of insanity. It's where outlaws live, and Neptuna, which is the port city, Nome, which is the land of dwarves and drovels, and so those are the cities in there. Oh, and there's also Dentera, which is a small coastal city. And then there's a mountains that leads to another area called the Nowhere Desert, which no one has ever been to. But the mountains are called the Whatchanoat Mountains, and inside of those are the Davian Caves, which is basically a labyrinth of traps and outposts made by the main villain of the story, whose name is Wilhelm. Okay, and here's a brief history of Lactate Mel. So each person gets an element when they are 15 that puts them at a certain place in society. Only the strongest can control this element that they're given. So the elements are fire, which if you're a fire elemental, you get to be a warrior or a soldier. Water, if you're a water elemental, then you'll get to be a merchant, storyteller, or a fisher. Earth, which are engineers, miners, and farmers. Air, which is a rare element, is noblemen and governors. Death, which is also rare, is villains and criminals. Life is priests and sorcerers. And then the last one and the most rare of them all is light, and they can be anything that they want to be. And then the important people of this land are Tyrose II, who's the first great musician, Bloodhair, which is the first king of fire, and these are all just last names. Fulltail, which is the first queen of water, Jock, who was the first king of earth, Willis, who was the first king of air, Darkhold, which is the first king of death, and Maggie, which was the first queen of life. And then Wilhelm, who, as I said, was the main villain, he created the element of darkness.
I'm going to interrupt Samuel real fast. I'm only drawing a rough sketch. This is going to be the crappiest piece that I've ever done because I just realized the screen share messes with the Wacom pad. But I will continue to work on it, and I'll pull it up the next live stream next week.
Okay. So Wilhelm, he is the only one that he created the element of darkness, which has caused anyone around him to be incapable of magic, including the wizard's abilities. And then there's Magnus, the only well-known sorcerer to defeat Wilhelm, or the only well-known sorcerers to use light. He defeated Wilhelm by mastering all 6 major elements. The main character, and okay, so Now I will tell you about the main characters of the story. Just a minute, I'm having to pull it up.
Are you starting with Z?
I'm starting by who's ever is on the page.
Ashton.
Ashton's first? Okay.
Yeah, Ashton's first.
Okay. Well, then yes, I'm starting with Ashton. Okay, so Ashton is Josiah's main character, and yeah, both of our main characters are pretty depressing. So that's I don't know.
Not really. They're just emotionally conflicted.
Okay, my character is pretty depressing.
His character is pretty depressing. Just say that.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
apologize for the shape of the mouth. I failed.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so Josiah's character is Ashton Pyrona. He's an over-sarcastic, somewhat introverted character in the beginning of the book, and by the end of the book, he's an over-sardonic, somewhat dark, fatalistic hero who doesn't want to be a hero. He's a wizard, but that's undiscovered until. Should we just say spoiler alert now?
Okay, spoiler alert now.
Yeah. So he's a wizard, but that's undiscovered until the end of the book, or the end of the first book, because this is going to be a trilogy, hopefully, if I can ever get chapter 7 done.
By the way, he still hasn't done.
He has shoulder-length black hair with silvery eyes and a dark green stripe of hair dye down the center of his hair and the back. His element is fire. He stands about 6'3" and has a wiry build. Not overly muscled, but strong enough to be distinguishable as a male figure. He has pale skin, but it's usually covered by a long dark cloak and a black leather jerkin, which I have no idea what that is. If you want to know, ask Josiah.
It's a tunic. It's a leather tunic. I'm going to quickly show you guys what Ashton looks like because I have done a drawing of him. You can keep talking.
Okay. Let me see. Okay. He has black pants and a deep hood. He has got a clean-shaven face despite being about 18 years old. At some point in the book, he gains the ability to control his element. We don't know when that is. We think we decided the end of the first book, right? That's when he gets it.
Yeah.
And so since his element is fire, he gets to control his element and his fire becomes green because he also has gains the element of death. And his weapon is called viscose. How do you say?
Viscose inertia.
Okay.
This is Ashton.
Okay. Yes, that is Ashton. And yeah, depressing character. He does not start off in the book wearing all black, but he eventually does.
Yeah, he starts out like in a soldier's uniform.
So he begins the book as a lieutenant in command of Ruby City. He pretty much brutally injures a commanding officer, which requires him to go on the dangerous mission, which I'll tell you when we get to the plot. So he's not too dark or not really twisted or insane. He's just very emotionally, he's struggling emotionally. Let's just say that.
Just leave it.
Yeah. Okay, he graduated from Fuegia Academy, and Fuegia is the fire academy. He did that a year from the first book with perfect grades. And his fatal flaws are he's very prideful, sarcastic, reclusive, shy, and hates most non-humans, and most humans for that matter. His love interest is Shunama, who's another great character. Oh, well, actually, really the only great character of Josiah's.
Oh, shit. Okay, you love Verona at this point.
I love Verona?
I'm kidding.
No. No, I do not.
No. He hates most of my characters.
I like
hate most
Shunama.
of his characters.
Yeah, so it works out pretty well.
Makes me laugh.
So yeah, Shunama. His love interest in Shunama, which I'll tell you about this next He's the next character I'll tell you about, and he's the Fireborn, which means he is the
He can control fire. He can control fire more powerfully than anybody else, and he can actually turn into fire, which is really interesting. Keep going.
he can also absorb fire. So
Yeah.
and he can grow huge. Apparently, I didn't know that until.
I mean, if you turn into fire, you can just like kind of expand yourself. Like the inside becomes hollow. Just
Oh, I guess that would make sense as long as there's oxygen.
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Just throw him into space. He doesn't have anything.
Toss him into space. Also, he was part of Ghost, so because of that, the Ghost can do pretty much whatever the heck they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and so that's his Vizard ability, because Vizards, like I said, Vizards have abilities, is a constant ability, and it enhances the emotions of those around him. A constant ability means that it's uncontrollable and it just is there. It's you don't use the ability; it's just constantly in, what do you call it, like in action and motion.
Yeah, constantly running.
Constantly running.
So,
Yeah. So his emotions will go out of control and amplify regular reactions. So if he gets sad, he'll just basically start crying a whole lot, grieving, crazy.
And if it gets out of control, then he will go berserk and pretty much black out.
Yeah. And then okay, so that is Ashton. That is Ashton. Okay, so then the next character is Shunama, who, like I said, is Ashton's love interest, and she's a young noble girl. Her element is air. She's 17 years old, originally from a coastal city called Plintera, which I told you about. She has silvery white hair, which is an odd thing, as most of our characters have odd hair. She's fair-skinned, about 5'11", wears a light blue set of clothes, short sleeve shirt, long sleeved leather jacket, a skirt of the same color.
Don't read that part.
Okay, why not?
Wait, which part?
Like,
She wears a light blue set of clothes, a short sleeve shirt, which is white colored, a long sleeve leather jacket, bright blue skirt of the same color, and blue sandals. So I'll just keep reading. She's got blue eyes, and she tends to be very, very shy and scared of people. When she first meets, hang on a second.
okay.
She hides behind that headset chair.
She tends to be shy and very scared of people. When she hides, or when she first meets Ashton, she hides behind the headrest of her chair in the Vivalant, which is basically the lactate male version of an airplane. And she can understand people, which is like basically like read their it's like it's not really a power, but she kind of has a way of knowing people's emotions.
Yeah.
And then so my main character was Z Wilhelm, and Z is spelled Zyeei, but it's just pronounced Z. So her element is light. She's a Raven Genusian, is emo with dyed yellow hair and a black and yellow aviator jacket. She has, so like I said, light elements can do whatever they want. So she has no idea what to do with her life. So was annoyed when she realizes she can do anything with her life. Why?
Because I finished the sketch and I got to do something.
Oh, okay. So she chooses to go to Fuegia Academy in Ruby City. Yes, I'm reading all of this.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess you are. You can, for the secondary characters, you can go through like just give basic names, like
name, element,
name, element.
Yeah, and also this is like, this world has its own language, so I've created a language for it. I'm not going to read that part because it contains a lot of curse words. At least some of them.
That was his idea.
Yeah, that was my idea because Z cusses like a sailor. So and by what I mean cuz is like a sailor, I mean in the other language. So it's not like actual curse.
She doesn't actually use curse words.
Yes.
Your teen kids can read this,
So
but not your children, not your little ones. Give her wings, lambs. I would keep away from this book.
okay.
Kind of like Hunger Games.
Okay.
That style.
Okay, so she chooses to go to Foygia Academy in what was it called? Quickton. Yeah, she is 17 years old. She was training to be a weapons engineer before going to Foygia. What?
Z or volcano?
This is Z.
Oh yeah, okay.
Her weapon is called the OPSR, which stands for Overpowered Sniper Rifle. And it's actually I'll just give you an explanation once we get to that. Okay, she hates most humans. Actually, she hates most everybody.
Except for Shunama. Nobody hates Shunama.
Nobody can hate Shunama. Okay. Her peers call her shifty behind her back because she's untrustworthy. And her fatal flaw is that she trusts no one. So that's kind of funny. It's irony. She trusts no one because she's untrustworthy. Her father's element was life and her mother's element was death. She loves playing a game called Sword of the Kings Battle for Lactate Mill 2. Or I changed it, Sword of the Kings Battle for Micmac, because Micmac is the planet that they're on. She hates her last name and anyone who calls her by it because Wilhelm is is her grandfather. So, yeah.
He was a very, 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 very bad person.
Yes. Kind of. Well, he was a very okay. He's an not empathetic, but what would you call it? Like empathizable? I don't know.
Easy to sympathize with.
Easy to sympathize with. Yeah, let's just go with that. So don't give her sugar. Will trigger her ability to be uncontrollably fast and strong if given enough.
So she goes crazy if she has sugar.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically a gigantic toddler.
Yeah, except, well, you'll see when I finish chapter 7. Yeah. Okay, so she curses in Imanese, which is the language that the language of Lactate Mill. She hates any act of affection, even if they are not aimed toward her. She feels threatened by others' accomplishments. And she is the keyboardist and lyricist of a small band called the Rumblebees. I came up with that name. Thank you. Thank you for the applause. I can hear it somewhere. There it is.
Oh, real fast. You may have already seen this on Facebook, but this is Shunama and Ashton. In chibi form.
Yes. That is them. Okay. Okay, and then there's Hermel Bloodhair. And this is the only character that Josiah likes of my characters.
Well, I like Volcano too.
Yeah. Okay, so Hermel is the lovable idiot. He has turquoise military cut hair. He wears silver goggles and a woven pyractilian.
Wait, that sounds like Neptune.
It's supposed to. Oh. It's supposed to be like Neptune and Jean combined.
Cool.
So wears silver goggles and a woven pyractilian jacket that is nearly impervious to damage.
That's a special kind of metal.
Yeah, it is. It's a special kind of metal. It comes from a specific volcano and can only be molded if heated by dragonfire. He is a human. He studies at Foygia Academy. Oh, I forgot to say that Z is a I think I forgot to say that Z is a Raven Janusian, which means she can turn into a raven. Okay, so back to Hermel. He's a human. He studies at Foygia Academy. Z underestimates him. His element is fire. And at the end of or like halfway through the second book, he becomes Volcana's boyfriend, which Volcana is the next character I'll be explaining. Yeah.
You've got like 20 of those.
Yeah, I have so many. I'm the one who makes up most of the characters, so Josiah has like 5.
4.
He has 4.
I've got 4 characters, and he's got about 30.
Yes. He's the guitar player of the Rumblebees, and his weapon is the Rails Ward. Okay, so the next character is Volcana Fyra, which is Z's extroverted friend. She's the only extrovert of the Rumblebees, which is Z, Hermel, and Volcana. She's the lead singer of the Rumblebees. She's a wizard, yet has no ability at the beginning of the book. Like the beginning of the first book, she gets her ability at the end of the first book. Her ability is obtaining strength by hers or others' emotions. So Ashton basically becomes her like fuel for her all her strength.
Fuel source.
Yeah, her fuel source. She studies at Foysia Academy, like both Z and Hermel, and her element is fire. So it's funny when she's not trying, but isn't funny when she's trying. So she comes from a poor family, yet rose up to being upper middle class.
How?
Because her family was heir, and so she has some knowledge of how. Pretty much, like she's the youngest of the Rumblebees. She's only 15, while Hermel and Z are 17. So when tragedy strikes, she either goes to shock or tries to think of ways to fix it. Her parents have the air elements, like I said, so she knows somewhat about how to use money. Her weapons are the slammer drum and the bakusas. And the slammer drum is a hammer, and the bakusas are basically gauntlets that can fire shotgun shells. She also loves playing a game called Sword of the Kings Battle for Micmac 2. She also loves playing that game. And then Parklow is a wizard, and he has the ability to talk to dragons, leviathans, and reptiles, and his element is death. He doesn't have a lot.
Side characters now, right?
That is, I don't know why he's in the main characters. He is a
weird.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, he's a side character.
He's running through the side characters now.
No, not yet.
Oh, you're not?
No, Diavahal is next, and he's like one of the major characters.
Okay. And I guess the 2 that I put in the other section are main characters too.
Yeah.
You can wait on those. I don't know.
Okay, so Diavahal Darkhold is a human. He wears a black cloak, a black cowboy hat, a black vest, 2 black leather belts with a gun holster on each, and is strapped to carry his other weapons. Half of his face and both of his arms are completely robotic. His arms are painted black. Yeah, he's creepy.
I didn't know that.
he's really creepy. Like half of his mouth, like his teeth go across his face, like right here.
Mm-hmm.
Here. So it's kind of creepy. So his arms are painted black, and the robotic half of his face is silver with a red eye. His element is death. He's called the what are you doing?
Focusing camera.
Okay. He's called the Devil of Democracy, and he is the sole protector and lawkeeper of Democracy. And remember, the Democracy is basically the city of insanity. So there's no police there, and he's basically like the
police.
He is the police, except he's not really like the police. He's more like Punisher. He just like kills he kills anybody who breaks like any of the 3 laws.
There are children in this name.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm not going to say the 3 laws.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Just keep talking.
He has dreams of opening up a school on Democracy called the Vigilancy. His weapons are the shotguns called Riddler and Wholesale, and the revolvers called Legislator and Lexitotus, which Legislator means lawmaker and Lexitotus means lawkeeper. Okay.
You slid the wind cover off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oops.
And, you know what? You might be on. Let me see that. Okay. Don't turn these knobs or you'll start echoing.
Oh, okay. Okay, and then the next character, and I think, is that the last of them? No, it's not. Okay. The next character is Diamond Wilhelm, who is Z's sister. She's also she's also a wizard. Well, Z's not, but yeah, she's okay. Diamond's a wizard, and she can. Her power is she basically can. I don't know. This one's hard to. This power is hard to explain. She basically like turns into smoke. Diamond. She basically turns into a smoke monster. Yeah, she is.
Since when?
Since yes. Here.
Okay, Samuel's gonna be right back. I'm gonna go ahead and keep talking. So, what? Hang on, turning it. Scooch up so that the camera focuses in on me, right? Anyway, so if you didn't, if you're just coming to the live stream, I don't think anybody is, but if you are, what Samuel's been doing is he's been explaining the book that he and I are working on right now, and he's running through a list of characters right now. He's almost done the main character. He's going to start going through the side characters next, but he's just going to name like name, element, and any wizard powers. But I think that's about it. So, okay, it looks like nobody's watching now, so that was a pointless explanation. But okay, gonna pull this back up, and so hey Stanley, you need to look at the camera.
I what?
You need to start looking at the camera.
Oh.
You're looking at the camera.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, I also need to look at because I can't remember. Okay, so Diamond. Okay, so Diamond is her ability.
Where's your phone go?
What?
Where's your phone go?
You said to look at the camera.
I mean, both work. I mean, if you can't remember it, then there's no point to.
Okay.
I mean, because you've got 30 side characters, you can't remember all of them.
Yeah, I can't remember all. Okay, so Z's power, or not Z's power, Diamond's power. Yeah, Diamond's ability is she can basically turn into this like smoke monster creature that can teleport around and basically is unstoppable. But if she becomes him for too long, then she'll have to stay as him. So that's her weird ability.
Anyway.
Yeah. And then so she gets all of the weapons of all of the characters that die. So she basically will have a personal arsenal by the time.
She'll have enough weapons to sustain an army.
Yes, because a lot of the characters die.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But her original weapon is a bow that can turn into 2 sickles called actually I don't think I gave that a name.
You didn't give it a name. You should name it after this.
Yeah, I'm gonna name it. Okay, and she has glyph makers, which basically glyph makers, she wears them on her wrist, and she can put a glyph down, which basically looks like a
kind of hieroglyphic.
Yeah, it looks like a hieroglyphic, and it's how do I explain? Yeah, it's hard to explain. Yeah. So if somebody it's basically a giant hieroglyphic. If somebody touches it, then there's several things it could do depending on which one she puts down. There's the jumper glyph, which if somebody steps on it, shoots them up into the air. The porter glyph, which teleports to another glyph, because that's why she has 2 of them, so it can act as a teleporter. Then the energizer glyph, which rejuvenates people. Then the speeder glyph, which allows so if the person's running and runs over it, then it basically makes them not really as fast as a car. Not really like fast as Flash, but fast as a car. And something happened.
Something happened. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hello. Okay, there. And then the strengthener glyph, which makes the person super strong. So her element is death. There's a lot of people with death element. I just realized that all my pretty much all
your characters are a bit creepy.
Yeah, that's why I'm good at making the villains.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
I want to not talk about Okaros.
I want to talk about Okaros.
You don't want to talk about Okaros.
Okaros is so.
Give her wings, mom's children.
I mean, it doesn't have any. It doesn't have any curse words. Ooh. Okay, fine.
He's gonna skip over the creepiest villain.
Okay. So it's Diamond.
Is
Who
that,
I
is
was?
that all the main characters?
No, there's still Zero and Silken left after this.
Yeah, those two.
And then she went to Hades Academy, which is the Death Academy. And she has a purple cloak, purple hair, and violet eyes. So a lot of purple. And she is the Deathborn, which means.
Did you say about her being Z's?
Yeah,
sister?
yeah, I already said that. She was Z's sister. She's the Deathborn, which means that she can.
Kind of like the Fireborn with death.
Yeah, she's like the Fireborn is like a fire person, but stronger and like able to turn to fire, or absorb fire and
do pretty much everything with fire.
Yeah, anything with fire. The Deathborn. So basically, what she gets when she becomes the Deathborn is she just can instantly kill everyone in like in a mile radius around her, and then she'll just go into basically a coma. So
anyway,
as if that's not creepy.
That's not creepy at all. You certainly didn't pick the creepiest element to be born.
Then there's Zero Hero. His name is amazing.
Zero Hero.
Yep, Zero the Hero.
Zero the Hero. That hero has zero.
He is a human.
Oh my gosh, it got worse.
What? Yeah, it really did. Yeah, this is my bed, and Josiah broke it. And so he is a human. Oh, I forgot to mention. So Diablo Hall has a bunch of apprentices. Diamond is one of them. Apprenti.
I don't know how to say it.
Apprentices. I think it's actually apprentices.
Well, I'm calling it apprenti from now on.
Okay, fine. You can call it apprenti. I'm talking to Josiah, so if you can't hear him, then you're only getting one side of a very strange conversation.
Those green bars at the bottom, they say how much microphone sound's coming through. So when I talk, not much comes through unless I do this.
Okay. So Zero Hero is a native of Democracy. Mm-hmm. He is dressed in color-changing vest, ski mask, pants, and windbreakers. So, and I think I got windbreakers right. They're basically those things that like cover up your arm right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep talking.
And he's the eldest of Diablo Hall's apprentices, or apprenti if you're Josiah. And I can't see myself if you do that.
You don't need to see yourself.
Okay, fine.
I need to see you to make sure that the focus is right and everything. But right now, I need to be checking something.
Okay. He has he's the water element. He becomes the Waterborn, which is like an amazing name. It sounds totally like water birthing. So he has a sword that can make ice called Winter's Fury. And then Silken Thorn is the next character. And I really like her name, Silken Thorn. That's awesome. Her element is also light. So in all the light characters, it's funny. Like most people would think most people would think the ones who want to have an element that's not theirs, or a different element, would be the light element, because then they could choose it. But actually the light elemental want to have no plan. All of them have no plan for their life and basically want to be told what to do. So they have the worst of luck when it comes to that. And
real fast.
Okay.
So what he just said is that in this world, if you are sorted like in Harry Potter, you're sorted by house. You're sorted by element in this world that we've created. And if you're light, then you basically get to choose whatever the heck you want to do. Light elementals don't like that. They want to be told what to do.
Yes. He said that in a much simpler way. So she's very sarcastic. So we're talking about Silken. So she's very sarcastic. She's Z's cousin. Her skin is pale. She's a wizard, and she's blind. So that's interesting. She has the ability to feel air movements, though. So she's basically and if anyone's close to her, she can sense them around her, kind of like spider sense. She wears an all-white ninja outfit with a hood, and has the nunchucks called the lantamas. that can turn into 2 daggers, a rope dart, a short sword, or a garrote. How do you spell it?
Garrote.
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 That just sounds odd to me.
Yeah, hang on. I'm gonna look at like to see what it looks like.
She's at first the enemy, like the bad guy's spy, but then she turns good, and at the end, she and Zero are together.
That's sudden.
What?
That was sudden. It's just kind of. Anyway, keep going.
Okay. Oh, and then here are the villains. I promised Josiah I wouldn't tell about one of the villains because one of them are super creepy, but
oh, Garrote's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it is.
I don't really want to show them that.
Yeah. Are they able to see your screen?
No, they can't.
Okay, good.
And right now they're just looking at your face.
Okay, cool. So Lord Coldemus Wilhelm, and that is the main bad guy. He looks about 60, though is actually 115. He has white buzz cut hair because he was sent to this island, like because there's this basically teleporter that they have that sends all the criminals to an island, and that island basically has slowed down time. So, did I tell you about that? That the island has the island, there's basically no time there. So time does not pass when they're on the island, so they always look the same. So once he escapes, he looks the same as when he went in. So he has white buzz cut hair. He has a black cashmere coat called the Cloak of Monsters because when someone touches it, they will become a harbinger.
25 minutes.
25 minutes?
Yeah.
That's how long we've been?
Yeah, no, 25 minutes is how long we have left until 1 o'clock, which is when it normally ends.
Oh, okay, cool. So in the harbinger, like I said, it's something. It's somebody corrupted by the darkness. So basically, a harbinger human, like basically what harbingers are, is they is basically just an outline of whatever creature they were turned into the harbinger. Yes, I do. Yes. Okay, so
Don't
yeah.
repeat that.
I'm not repeating it.
I may actually just edit that part out of the video after it's done.
Okay, just edit that part out. Okay. Yeah. And his weapon is called the Black Scar. And then there is Princess Milan Darkhold, who.
Keep going.
Okay, and then and then another villain is Princess Milan Darkhold. And then, as you might have remembered, the Darkhold is the Lord of the Dead. So she is his daughter, and she basically is the main villain. Although in the first book, Wilhelm is the main villain. In the books after, it turns out she was behind everything. So yeah, we already put the spoiler alert on. So. Good about that. And she looks about 30.
Spoiler alert.
She looks about 30, there was actually 246. So yeah, she's pretty old. She has dark red hair and has a dark green leather jumpsuit and a mesh cape. She is Darkhold, like I said, Darkhold's daughter. And then there's Trapsmaster, whose name means what was it? Something what? Do you have that? Can you pull that out?
Pull what up?
The Emmonies.
Emmonies?
Yeah. Because if you can, that would be great. So yeah, his name means like I can't remember what it is. Josiah's gonna pull it up, but basically he's a very sad villain.
And the reason the camera is shaking is because it's on my lap and I'm typing things in to search stuff. So, yeah.
So, Trapsmaster is Wilhelm's nephew and lieutenant, which makes him Z's uncle. Geez, Z has a lot of
bad people in her family.
Yes, she does. Well, actually, I wouldn't say bad people.
She has a lot of death elementals in her family. That's what she has.
Yeah, she does have a lot. He's a death elemental. He has wispy blonde hair and is thin and sickly pale. He requires a suit of armor to stay alive, kind of like Iron Man. So
Oh, hey, look, your face is the cover for this YouTube video.
Sweet. That's amazing. I totally wanted that.
It was an accident. It picks it randomly.
Oh. So he uses oh. He's so he's a light elemental. Actually, not a death element, or not light elemental. He's a life elemental, which means he can do magic. So so Wilhelm, when he realized that he could do magic, Wilhelm used him to create the Davion caves. And he uses the most of his his magical energy to keep the Davion caves like up and running and working, because he has to use it constantly to keep them working. He thinks that Wilhelm is kind, but Okaros, who's the villain I decided not to talk about, well, Josiah told me not to talk about, but that Okaros is his evil alter ego.
Yeah.
So, and his real name is Soricho Tinkler. His
name is what now?
Soricho Tinkler.
You named him Tinkler.
I just realized how.
Sriracha Tinkler. That's what it sounds like.
That's awful. Okay, so he's both life and death elemental. So he has two elements, unlike most people. Except Ashton has fire and death element.
Spoiler alert again.
Well, yeah, we already told them about that, though.
Okay, I pulled up the M&E's document. What was it that you wanted to find?
It was a Soricho.
Spell it.
Siri. Okay. So Siri.
Siri, that's one of the words.
And then I think that might be. I think it might have been changed up a little to fit this, but.
Hang on, I'm looking.
Okay. Okaros, I can't get Okaros. Oh, and then there's Polly. Polly is an amazing.
You never. Oh yeah, you did. Siri means tragic.
Tragic wish.
Tragic. Where's wish?
Chell is wish, I think. Trapsmaster's like real names means tragic wish. So, yeah, he's a pretty depressing character.
All of yours are.
Yeah, all my characters are pretty depressing.
Diamond.
Except for Diamond and Volcano. Actually, Volcano becomes a depressing character, so yeah.
You never. Oh wait, yeah, you did. Wish.
Yeah. Chold. Yeah.
Chold is wish.
So Chell, Chold. I sometimes change them up to fit other characters. Mm-hmm. So, and Darkholds means death wish. So, okay, and then Polly is another villain who is a pirate. And how would you describe Tyrion? I mean, how do you even describe?
She's crazy.
She's crazy. Yeah, she's crazy. She has this long, like cloak that it's completely white except with emerald studs on it. So think Michael
Jackson.
So think emerald instead of rhinestone Michael Jackson. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she's very colorful because she can turn into a parrot. She's a parrot Genusian, which makes it really funny because she's also a pirate.
So she's a were-parrot.
Yeah, and her name is Polly. What? Polly the parrot. Who's a Polly?
The were-parrot.
Polly the were-parrot.
That sounds like the were-Frenchie.
The what?
Do you remember me telling you about that, the were-Frenchie?
I don't remember that.
Like, it was my friend drew it in my book.
Oh, yeah.
Were-Frenchie. When it's a crescent moon, he suddenly turns from a redneck into a French person. And if he bites someone, they turn into French.
What the heck? That's so ridiculous.
I know. It was my friend.
Yeah, you're only able to hear one side of this conversation, so
they can hear a decent amount of my voice, but it only goes up to 2 bars.
Oh, okay.
They can hear you a lot clearer.
Okay, so and then here are and then there's Ragnarok, who is a dragon breeder. Yeah. If you couldn't tell, his name was inspired from the Norse myth of Ragnarok, and his weapons are called
17 minutes.
17 minutes. Okay. 17 minutes.
You want to skip most of the side characters, except for important ones.
Yeah, okay.
That's an oxymoron. Important side character. That's like saying strong John.
Well, now I can't remember what I was going. Oh, so Ragnarok and his weapons are called I think Jormungand and Fenrir,
So
which
he's Thor.
no, that those are the villains from Ragnarok. There's a giant and his weapons are giant since he's like about, I think he's like 12 feet tall, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He has these two, and he's like huge. He's a Draken breacher, so he's
with the Davion Caves team, right?
yeah, he's a bad guy. Like I put him as one of the main villains.
Oh, okay.
Oh
yeah, isn't he a general during the Democracy War?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's where I've heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah. So Rush, and then
for a second I thought he was with the Davion Caves mission team.
No, he's a bad guy.
Okay.
So yeah, he is. What was I saying? Oh yeah, he's a Draken breacher. So he's really tall. So he has these like hand cannons.
Freeze for a second. I want to hear how the mic is coming through.
No, he's a bad guy. Okay. So yeah, he is. What would I? My voice. Oh yeah, he's a Draken breacher. So he's really tall. So he has these like hand cannons.
Freeze for a second. I want to hear. Yeah. Okay. See if they can hear my voice. I'm gonna mute this.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Keep going.
Okay. So yeah, he has these hand cannons that can turn into short swords. And then the side characters, I'm just gonna run through them. ASAP, who is Ashton's lieutenant, her element is fire. She's a wizard and he has the ability for super speed. Eurus is a bear breacher. His element is life. Roki is a dwarf. His element is water, and his weapon is called the Blood Hacker. So yeah.
Just skip the weapon. You skip the weapons.
Okay. And then there's Murmok, who's a Fronlene. He's one of those weird water-breathing guys.
Anyway.
Yes. His element is earth, and then Black Sunday is another group.
They're another group of people in the first book.
Yeah, and they actually come back in the third book.
They do?
Yeah, they will.
That's not. I don't like Black Sunday. Except for Miss Rice. Miss Rice class.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what he's talking about is Jasmine Weiss, who who the main characters call Rice Girl because it sounds like Jasmine Rice.
Mm-hmm.
She has white hair, is a human. Her element is fire. She goes to Foisia Academy, and her weapon is a guitar called the Gutter. The guitar. And then there's Viola Graves, who has indigo hair. Her element is fire. She's the cricket Janusian, so she can turn into a cricket. And her weapon is a violin called the Violent.
Don't mention.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah, I don't even mention it on here.
Okay, good.
Then there's Simile Graves, who has gold hair, element is fire, and is Viola Graves' brother. There's Jukes Boxer. Okay, these are Diavalhal's apprentices that I haven't mentioned yet. Jukes Boxer is a wizard. What? Apprenti.
If you're me, then you call them apprenti.
So Jukes Boxer. Anyway, Jukes Boxer. That sounds so weird. Jukes Box. Jukes Boxer.
You named the character Juice Box.
It was supposed to be like Jukebox, but yeah, it comes off more like Juice Box. She's a wizard of the death element and can make illusions of sight and sound. So, and then Iris is has an Egyptian style black hair. She can control the weather and is a death elemental. And then there's the Aqua Shell Bandits. There's Miserab. Her name is based off of Les Miserables, but it's spelled differently. It's spelled
Most kids, the age of who's watching this, won't have heard of that. But just keep talking.
Okay. Her name is spelled Mizerob. She wears did you just turn that on?
Yeah, I turn it on because if it's on, then you can tell if the camera's working or not.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She wears a mask and never shows her face, and she's Z's, Diamond's, and Silken's aunt.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Wait, who is this again?
Miserab.
Oh, I don't know much about the bandit characters.
Yeah. And then there's Scorch Pyrobrand. He has a fear called Volocracy, which means I think it means like insane fire. Actually, no, it means raging insanity. That's what it means.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, and then there's Lucis Tsunami, and his name means freak show, and is a hyena breeder.
Is it like Lucis not try?
Yeah.
Cool.
Then Donin Powderin is a dwarf, and he has a sonic gun called the Thunder Blast. And his elements are Earth and Death. And his brother is Blitzer, and his elements are Earth and Death. And he has a lightning gun called the Telsawaf.
10 minutes.
Got it. And then there's Little Tylkin, and his wizard. His ability is telekinesis, and he's 8 years old.
Yep.
And his element is death, so he's the strongest of the bandits. So, and then their other characters are the Theron Mitro. He is Shunoma's little brother and is 9 years old. And then there's Ember Pyrona is Ashton. What?
And he's really annoying.
Yeah, he's really annoying. Okay, and there's Ember Pyrona, who's Ashton's little sister, and her element is water. She goes to Hydron Academy. Doesn't really have anything about her in the book, though.
Yeah, no.
So
Not yet.
Not yet.
I'm thinking second, third book.
Okay, and then there's Verona and Sevron, which are
two other main characters.
You should have put those in the front, so I had time
I
to
didn't know what to do with Verona at first.
Verona is
Don't.
what?
Wait, is that a major spoiler or?
Whoa.
Verona. The first bullet point's a major spoiler.
I'm not sure whether to classify her as a main character.
The second bullet point is a major spoiler.
Ashton.
Yes.
Oh, well, we already said spoiler.
Okay, fine. Okay, here I'm inserting a major spoiler alert here.
Okay, it's
I'm gonna have to explain it.
Ashton's special person, which means it's not like Shunama. She's not his like girlfriend at the beginning, but she's just her. She just helps him by, since he has the emotion, like the ability to amplify his emotions and can't control it. She helps him to control it by making her powers to make things just calm, make people calm. So she helps him with that until the end of the third book, and then you kind of know that they're going to get together. It leaves like a cliffhanger.
An epilogue with their marriage, though.
Okay, fine. I don't like her, so.
He hates most of my characters except for Shunama.
Yeah.
So he conveniently. Never mind.
Okay.
That's your
idea. Yeah. So no, that wasn't my idea.
That was your idea.
It was?
It was your idea.
Okay,
You said she should.
Okay, well, okay, yes. Shunama.
We're trying to dodge a.
Shunama dies.
Okay. Shunama dies. That's why Verona and Ashton end up getting married.
Okay, you know what? Let's just make sure. Actually, no, that would ruin like half of the story then.
Yeah, no, seriously, you would kill Ashton. You would murder him from shock.
Okay. So then there's Seven okay, I don't know this person, but okay.
He doesn't know anything about this person. I just created him. Hand me the thing. The thing. The phone. Gonna hold this for a second. And I'm back.
This has missed a bunch of rambling.
What?
This has pretty much been a bunch of rambling.
It has. It's basically just been talking. But I thought I'd give myself a break from just straight drawing and trying to talk while I was drawing. Instead, I drew and let him talk. Hand me the phone. Hand me the thing. Okay. So this is a new character that I just created a couple days ago. His name is Sevhan Kirst. Sevhan Kirst. Or I'll just say it like English style. Seven Cursed.
Okay.
Cursed. Like that. So this is my final perspective character, like my last main character. Seven's name, the first part, Sever, it means seven, and Hansu, which means son. Seventh son is what his name means. He is the seventh
I
son.
wonder where you got that from.
He is the seventh son of Traitor Cursed, or Traitor Cursed.
Traitor. So that his name pretty much means he's a traitor.
Yep. He's about 6'1" with a shock of average length blonde hair. He has blue eyes, wears regular blue jeans usually and a light blue long sleeve collared shirt with the sleeves rolled up. He usually wears a black bracelet and a silver cross shaped necklace around his neck. His element is water.
Pretty much inspired. Why do you have this character and then you have Ashton?
Ashton, remember Ashton's half of me.
So you're just gonna have half of you, another half of you, and then a whole of you.
Yes. kind of. He doesn't have a weapon like all the other characters. Oh yeah, he lives on the outer edge of Democracy in the slightly better off section of the city.
Slightly better off.
There's no really better off sections of that city. But he has no weapon like all the other characters, but he's got years of training in martial arts, 7 years to be exact, and has reflexes
Seven.
so well tuned that he could deflect a bullet if he needed to with the metal cuffs he wears on his wrists, which are made of black steel. If he presses a button on these cuffs, they extend to cover like his whole forearm. So like armor. That sounds stupid. Arm armor. And that's about it. He ends up joining Ashton and Diamond at some point. So, yeah, forearmor. Yeah. There's your phone back.
Okay.
There's the microphone back.
Okay, and I think we're pretty much done, right? I think is
Yeah,
that
I
it?
think that, you may want to really quick explain the elemental system because we didn't really get into that.
Yeah, I did.
You did? You explained the elemental system, like how people are. I did that.
We both did that. I did it. Yeah, so we've done that in plenty.
Okay. Well, I guess we've only got 5 minutes left, but we did start 5 minutes early, so I guess we're out of time. Like we're done.
Yeah.
Is that pretty much everything?
Yeah, we have some poems, but that's pretty much.
We got a couple poems and stuff, and yeah, but most of them are a bit dark, so you may not want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Volcana is like stupid. I really don't like the one I made for her.
Okay. Well, he's a poet.
Yes.
So, well, I guess we can next live stream if I'm doing it with him or by myself. We can continue talking. I'm gonna finish the art piece and microphone, please. They can barely hear me. Next live stream, I'm gonna finish the art piece. If he's doing it with me again, then we're gonna keep talking about the book. But I'm gonna go ahead and close out of this. So I will see you all next week. Samuel, say goodbye.
Adios.